Hello, everybody. It's Donna Pugh, and I'm with my friend and my client, Lisa Went, which you're going to hear from today. Thank you so much for taking time to do this, Lisa, okay?
Pleasure to be here, Donna.
Okay, awesome. Let me just kind of look and see where we're starting. Okay. Um, so, whew, she got a story. Woo. Lisa's got couple of stories. Lisa's been working for me with me for years, not for me. How many years have you been working with me?
15 years, Donna. We've
Are
been
you
together
serious?
15 years. Yep.
Oh my God, we're about, shoot, 15 years. That's awesome. And we've worked a lot toward business, and inside of that, we've done personal, which we're going to talk today. Just thank you for working with me and trusting me in all these years, Lisa. And she's got, she's one that I have many stories, but I have two specific stories that I always share that is imprinted in my coaching. Y'all know I'm a life coach, I'm a business coach, and I'm a sales consultant. That's what I do. And so she works with me business wise, and we've worked together personally too. And wow, 15 years. All right, good. Well, first, just, before we really get going, just tell a little bit about your life, who you are, where you're from, and, your personal, like just a little bit about you so we know you.
So my name is Lisa Went. Oh, Donna, you left that open ended. I could talk an awful lot. Uh, so I am a sales director in Mary Kay Cosmetics, which is how I met Donna was during my qualification period, and that's how long I've worked with her. But I also own my own in-home business where I give piano lessons to students. I actually go into schools and I do some out of my home. And so I have over 40 students that I take care of.
I didn't know you had 40 students.
Yeah, three
Wow.
days a week. I go into three different schools. I give lessons and I have some out of my home. I am also the director of music at my church, which is a very part-time gig, but basically music is a big portion of my life. And I've done all sorts of other things. My life really, truly. I've worked for the post office. I've managed a store while I working with Donna. I was a director of a child care center. I still substitute teach at a child care center just to help them out when they're desperate, and I'm available. So I find I'm a workaholic by admission. I Dead time frustrates me, and I think it's a learned skill from my grandparents that I spent a lot of time with when I was growing up. But I grew up in a pastor's home. My dad was a minister, and I married a minister. And my life was a real roller coaster for a long time
Okay,
because
so hold on one second. Okay,
of
let me
things
interrupt.
with that.
Okay, so she's at
So
this point she's married and she has four children and two grandchildren, right? Let me just want to get that in.
three
Three
grandsons.
grandchildren. Okay, got it. So she has four boys, by the way. How old are your boys now?
My boys they range in age from 30 to 20.
Okay, and then she has three little ones for grandchildren. So I've been with her 15 years. So they were like little kids when I started, right? I just
Yes.
want to make sure we stay on track for time wise and give them a picture about your life before we get into the story. Okay, your one of your stories. Okay, um, so take us back. We're talking about the completion with your husband and the kids and all. So please take us back how long ago that was, what was going on, what was happening, and well, you know your story.
Oh,
I
yeah.
almost know her story as good as her.
Um, so I mentioned my husband, when we married, my husband was training to be a minister. He became a minister. He was a minister for 20 years, actually. And during the course of that time, my husband suffers from an addiction. Had the addiction before we got married. I didn't know about it. Found out about it after. We thought we were handling it.
And how long were you married at that point?
Um, Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I found out about it shortly after we got married. It started becoming a real issue about 7 years into the marriage. But um, gosh, Donna, well, we had been married 17 years when you came into my life, so I had already been living really in it. But I didn't bring it to you until he lost his job. And that was 10 years ago now.
Wow.
Um, so he he did something which forced him to have to resign from the ministry, and that was really rough. And Donna and I were doing one-on-ones at that time, and so Donna really helped me with some of that. We also did some group work. We had started doing group work, so the group had helped with that. But due to the progression of his addiction, things kept getting worse, and we weren't dealing with it. I mean, hindsight is 2020, but we weren't dealing with it in the right way. I became more of his, um, I don't know, like the officer, his mom, I was the one laying down the law for him, and all that did was fuel the addiction, because then to him there was a big pull to pull one over on me, to see how many lies he could get away with, see how much manipulation he could do. So it finally came to a head. Well, I got to think about this. 7 years ago, about 7 years ago, um, it, he had crossed a line, which um, I had forgiven him for once before, and this was he was heading down to crossing this line again, and I had said I wasn't going to live through it. I knew I wasn't going to live through it. And so we were just about ready to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary when I kicked him out of the house and filed for divorce.
And that was about how
Um,
many years ago? 7 or
that was 7 years ago now.
7 years ago? Oh my God. Go ahead.
Over 7 years, 7.5 years ago.
No.
That happened. And I, after that, Donna and there were a lot of things that, gosh, I was mentally, emotionally falling apart. And if it weren't for the coaching that I was getting from Donna, and the tools that I had gained from working with Donna for so long, I don't know how I would have survived. I mean, I had a really great group of friends that were very supportive, uh, between my church, my work, my Mary Kay, women that God had placed into my life who were very, very supportive. But dealing with working through my issues, working through looking at what my contribution was to my failed marriage, um, working at how did I get healthy, because I was a mess. Um, I recently, I admit this, I had gotten to a point where I was so angry, so angry with my husband, that I honestly believed that I was either going to kill him and myself, or I was going to just kill him. And no matter what, my kids were going to be left without a parent. And that was just, I had to recognize that I was not in a really good place, and we needed to do something. And working with Donna, I realized that we had to put a complete end to whatever that was, because that was the only way that I was going to be able to get emotionally and mentally healthy again. And I'm not going to say that I am all healthy, and there are still issues that I am working with, issues that Donna helped me realize, issues that I had before our marriage that I couldn't blame my husband for. There were things that I brought in, which didn't help the situation at all. And so we went through a whole year of separation, downsized the house, did all sorts of things like that.
Were you divorced at that time?
We
Or
were separated. So we
separate?
were
Okay, go ahead.
separated for a
I just want to
year.
make, yeah.
And then the divorce was finalized approximately a year after I had filed in December of 2019. That was all complete. And Dave was still in my life because we had a minor child at the time. Our youngest son was still a minor. We had two in college, and so he was still very much in my life. And we needed to try to figure out how our relationship was going to work. But the fact was that I couldn't let go, because this was the man that I honestly felt God had given to me, and he was the father of my children, and I wasn't ready to move away completely from that relationship. And but I realized I needed to do some work. So I really started utilizing a lot of the tools that Donna had given me, and I was working on that for myself. And about 5 months into the divorce, just before, we live in the state of Wisconsin, and in the state of Wisconsin, you have 6 months from the court date where they say, okay, you're divorced. You can change your mind within 6 months, and it'll be as if you were never divorced. And we were coming up on that date, and something had happened between the two of us, and the boys had said, okay, that's it, Dad, we're done with you. If this is what you're going to choose to do, we are completely done with you. And they were going to cut him off. And he had a real breakdown, and the two of us sat down and we talked. And he just said to me, he's like, you mean there's a chance? There's a chance for us to still be together? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, this wasn't about getting rid of us. It was about getting rid of whatever that first marriage was, that was built on lies and manipulation. And that's no good foundation for a relationship. I just had this conversation with my youngest son. That's not a way to build a healthy relationship. A house built on sandy soil will not stand. So we sat down, we talked, and he said to me, okay, he's like, if you're willing to work on this with me, I will work with whomever you pick. Now, due to some of the other things that we had, because like we had a domestic incident where he threatened to kill himself in front of the kids, and had to go under, he had mandated testing, and he had court ordered therapy sessions, and we had kind of worked with this therapist, but he lied to that therapist. And I said to him, I'm like, well, we're not doing that again. And he's like, I will work with whomever you want to work with. And I said, okay. He said, I am going to go to Donna, and I am going to ask Donna if she will work with us. And I didn't know if she would or not. And I'm pretty positive, Donna, that you had said you weren't sure if you wanted to work with Dave or not. But Donna said, this is what I'm going to do. I'll meet with you. I know you, because Donna and I had sessions.
We're already working.
I'll meet with Dave and I'll see. So, and I will just tell you, that first session, Donna, you called him a snake.
Oh,
he told me that. He's like,
I forget what I say.
She called me a snake. She told me I was slimy. She told me that I.
And it wasn't from what Lisa had said. It was whatever our conversation. Because
Yes,
I go with an open mind.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And he came back to me and he's like, she pinned me for everything. Mm. And they didn't meet in person. This was only over a phone call.
Wasn't even Zoom.
You can't get stuff over on Donna.
I hope not.
I mean, she is just, Donna's a master at communication. And so you were the first person that he had spoken to who saw through his little smoke screens and everything that an addict will do to protect themselves. And you nailed him and told him he needed to go back and he needed to do a full disclosure to me. And the two of us sat down, and that's what we
I'm
did.
getting chills all over again.
And I said, I'm like, okay. I said, if Donna wants to work with you, Donna wants to work with me, we're going to do this. So we set up, Donna did a couple sessions with me, a few sessions with Dave. Then we started doing sessions together. She set up sessions with each of our boys because what happened with us totally spilled over onto our children, one of which was married already. And so Donna set up individual sessions with them, then brought us together. One of my boys refused to work with Donna. And it was more of a, he likes to have somebody in person. And Donna, he's because of this, he actually went and started seeing a therapist the last couple of years himself for some of his issues. So it's just the things that we've learned. Oh my gosh. And how our communication is so much better and how the boys will call me out on things because Donna taught them how.
It's always funny when I hear my kids say, well, what would Donna say? It's like,
Exactly. Dave pulls that out all the time and says, well, what would Donna say about this? You know what Donna would say about this. And it's so funny because I have worked with Donna so long that I don't really even have to call her sometimes. Her voice is just automatically in my head saying, this is what you need to hear in this. Will you live in what is and stop telling yourself stories? And, there are a lot of things along that
I
line.
want to make sure, so look, so I'm forever grateful and that I was given this opportunity. I don't take it lightly when people trust me to work with me that don't know me. And or do work with me that know me. But I had Lisa that knows me, but Dave didn't know me, and there's some things that I had seen on Facebook and stuff and not just from her, because everybody's got a side of the story, but I wasn't sure to work with him. And I told him straight, I'm going to be straight with you. And I'm not on anybody's side, even though I work with Lisa. I break up Lisa. Lisa knows. So she actually, I just want to make sure I've never had that experience and never will again that I work with these individuals and their kids and then bring them together as a sole purpose to get complete. And I want to make sure that you get in, because I know you have a piano lesson at 3:30. I want to make sure you get in after we did this, exactly what happened.
So as a result, Dave and I did get remarried.
Remarried after how many years?
We we were separated for a year, divorced for 2, and we got remarried on what would have been our 28th wedding anniversary.
But they got complete with what all that happened, the good or bad, and all the toxic from before.
We did.
It was not together for a year or whatever. I mean, they were still, with the kids and all. But then they were ready when we completed. I'm so big about completion on so many levels. They were able to complete. I mean, we went through some conversations, and where they could create newly, and out of that creation, they created getting remarried. Go ahead. I find it astounding.
So we've been happily remarried, and let me tell you, marriage the second time around it looks nothing like the first marriage did.
Well, and it's also because you completed and created newly.
Yeah. So we really, our communication skills, there are so many tools that we've been given through working with Donna, really, that we continue to implement and continue to sit there and say, okay, what's really going on here? And I can't go dredging up everything from the past because that's in the past.
That's right. When it's complete, there's no dredging it up.
Anything about it. So we don't do that. Or if I try, Dave says, what would Donna say? Um, so I mean, it really, we closed the book.
Yeah.
Donna has us do this. We closed the book on that first relationship. Yes, we still have children from that relationship, but what we currently have does not look anything like that, what that first marriage was. And Dave, I honestly say he's an addict in recovery because he's not the same person that he was. And I am not the same person that I was at all.
Yeah.
I still work through a lot of things, but
Well, it's a journey. It never ends. It never ends. If anyone thinks that they're going to arrive somewhere, but y'all are at a different place that you have open, straight communication. Yeah. And I had the pleasure, they were a Mary Kay trip and came to San Antonio, Texas. That's where I live. And I got to have dinner with Dave and Lisa. Yes, I got to, after all those years, I got to meet Dave, have dinner with Dave, and it was great. It's funny because I've been working with Lisa so many years, and there was a Mary Kay event that my friend took me with her, and I forgot how many years ago. It was before this. And she comes and plops down beside me and says, "Hey." I'm like, "Hi, Lisa." And she says, we never met, right?" I had forgot we never met because I've done so much with her on Zoom and stuff. So yeah, but then I got to have a margarita and some Mexican food with Dave and Lisa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the, and I will just say, my experience with working with you, Donna, I mean, it clearly has changed my life and changed it for the better and made it possible. I mean, my communication skills, what that has done for me in my marriage, for me and my relationship with my boys, even my relationship with my daughters-in-law, it's been huge, very, very huge, life-changing for me.
Well, again, Lisa, I just want to thank you for being with me all these years and for trusting me and for being coachable and letting me, trusting me with your family. There's nothing more important, like I said, for me to actually experience being part and then y'all being remarried. Like I'm getting teary eyed again right now. I find it remarkable when people do the work and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of Dave. I'm so proud of your kids. I'm so proud of y'all as a family. I mean, and who cares if I'm proud, right? I just don't even know any better word. But I am forever touched by having this experience with y'all. And I really appreciate you taking the time today. I know you have a piano lesson. I really appreciate you being so candid and telling your story. And I'm big about completion, guys, about timing, like just your time, like monthly in your business and stuff, and personally about getting complete and creating newly. I'm big, I have a few wheelhouses. I do a lot of things, but completion is one of them. Communication is another, and that's all intertwined. And then a couple of others, right? But if you want to talk to me or you about especially like completion or communication or you're dealing with something, please let me know. And just thank you for sharing with people. You make a difference. She. Can I say that what you're going to be doing?
Yes.
I can't. Okay. You know what I'm going to say?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
But go ahead and tell me what I'm going to do.
Well, I should have asked before, but she's been putting some videos. She's really great at it, sharing her story along the way of their journey. And I know it's probably, who knows who it's helped. You never know who it impacts. And she's going to be writing a book, so you'll hear more from Miss Lisa Wendt and all her ventures. Anything else you want to say, Lisa?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. I so appreciate you. Go have a great day. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what you think.